Hey everybody, it's Liz. How are you doing today? It's been a little bit. I don't know if I did a post last week. It's been bananas, you guys. Like seriously bananas around here, and I just wanted to give you a little update. So there's been a lot happening, and the best way to describe it is that I reached out to a mentor, this amazing guy in town, and we had a great coffee the other day. And I was explaining where I am and this transition and starting this business and just figuring out what I want to do with all this. You know, I have so many ideas, and I'm so grateful for my firework thinking that allows me to have endless ideas and directions and whatever that this could all go, and what I should do with my life and who I should be in the world and what I'm meant to do here and all this pressure and all this stuff. And yet, like, I'm kind of also frozen, and I've just been frozen and stuck and just like freaking out. While I'm figuring it all out. And so I met with this great mentor named Doc Klein. Look him up. He's amazing. And he said, he's like, you know, you're in the liquid goo phase. I was like, liquid goo phase? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you're in between being a caterpillar and becoming a butterfly. And he's like, I don't think any caterpillar is like excited or cool, or I don't know. They might not be really into building a dark, cave around themselves where you can't see the light and you don't know what's going on. And then your body literally turns into goo and your parts change and like fall apart. And then like these new parts come in, and they don't know necessarily that they're going to become a butterfly. They're just following their instincts and doing what's right and being in the moment, right? And like doing what they're called to do in this world. They're just following it and being like, okay, this seems, who knows? They're probably not being like, this seems like a crazy plan to like create this shell around myself and like literally cocoon in. Guess I'm gonna roll with it. I don't know what else to do. I feel like this is what I'm meant to do. So here we are. And that is where I'm at. I feel like I'm totally in liquid goo, and it's super intense and kind of scary and really frustrating. And I wish I don't know. It is what it is. And so I don't know the timeline of it. I don't know the schedule. There's nothing, there's no itinerary that's been passed to me around this, which is the beauty of it and all that. But here I am. And so within my liquid goo phase of the last couple weeks, I have hurt my back really terribly in a very different way. I've had back pain since I was in middle school, but this is like next level, something different. And usually my pain is on my right side, and I've just lived with it for forever, and I hold stress there, and it's just this thing that I keep out of crisis mode, where this is all on my left side, and it's causing like sciatic pain, and it is intense. And so that was a real challenge. I was stuck in bed for a couple days and just really knocked off my game. Like I really couldn't function, which is what it was. And it was right before my son turned 5, and we had a party coming up and all these things, right? And I'm in bed and I can't move. I literally can't even roll over. Like I have to stay in just one spot just to even be able to not be crying out in pain. It was like bananas, right? So that happens, and I just start kind of panicking, and I'm just like, how am I can't even get up. I can't even get my kids from school. Like I had to call in serious, amazing friend angels and just get help, like legit, like real deal help, which was great. And I'm so grateful for my community and these relationships I've fostered so that I have that backup, and I'm still just like tremendously grateful to be able to do that. And it was like, okay, Liz, what are you going to do with this? Right? Like, here we are, right? Here we are in this moment dealing with this thing. And I've decided that for my 40th birthday, which is on April 9th, that instead of framing this whole journey of trying to get my back on track, so I've been to PT, I'm doing much better. I'm out of bed, obviously. I'm walking around, but there's a lot of nerve pain happening, which is just mentally really hard. But the PTs are just like, you're going to be great. They're like, yeah, it's totally freaked out, and there's some things that need to be rehab, but through strengthening and stretching, it doesn't seem like it's the spine. Everything is all connected. So as we strengthen and get these other pieces of your body back online, that'll start calming down because your spine will be supported and it'll all work out. And they are just these like two hilarious, just PT dudes who are like not concerned. Like they are listening to me and they're paying attention and they're empathetic, but they're kind of like, yeah, you're gonna be great. Just do what we need. Take your baby steps. And so that's been hilarious because I'm like, for what's happening in my body, your response is comforting because it's not going to be a big deal and I'm going to work through it, and like kind of comical where they're like, yeah, that happens. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just do this hamstring stretch and breathe, and we'll see you next time, and you're going to be great. I'm like, okay. Anyways, so that's been going on, and instead of freaking out, in the past I would have really spiraled when I get hurt and I need to see experts. I really spiral into this like, I'm broken, I need to be fixed, I need help. Like I can't do it on my own. I need these experts to come in because I am not enough, and I can't fix this on my own. And not from a like reaching out to community empowerment phase, but from a like, I'm broken and need to be fixed way. So this time it's like such an extreme thing that's happening, and it just feels different. I'm switching it around, and I honest to God am giving myself for my 40th birthday the time and energy to heal my back and start this new decade, pain-free and be healthy and actually do what the experts say so that it's not a big deal and I don't just carry it around with me for years, which I've done with other injuries, and just let it go and take the actual baby steps. And so now when I do my exercises in the morning and the night, I legit am like, oh, I get to like do my birthday present to myself. And this is a gift to me. And I'm just embracing the fact that like literally I'm at a stage where the baby step to get stronger and to heal is sitting in a chair and sticking one leg out straight. And that's it. That's where, that's the hamstring stretch. That's the level I'm on right now, which is humbling, right? And I'm like, that's where I'm at. I am back to square one, and it's hard and it hurts and it's hard to trust the process. And I also am excited for this, this birthday present in this new way, and just to get to a higher ground with this so that I can actually not be in pain all the time. Imagine that, right? So the other part of the liquid goo phase that I want to talk about is through all of this, I've been, so singularly focused on, not even focused, more just worried about how to start this business and what to do with this coaching stuff and what am I supposed to do with all this, like I know I'm supposed to do it, and I feel really compelled to reach out to you guys and reach out to this audience and share my story feels really important right now. And then there's all these other details that just completely overwhelm me and make me feel, again, like I'm not good enough and I can't do it on my own, and I'm broken somehow. It's very similar to the back. Probably not surprising this is happening, right? It's all connected. And so I, been focusing so hard on this one thing and just getting more and more worried that like, the money isn't coming in and it doesn't seem to be working, and I just feel stuck, right? And that's a difficult place to be. And then I've just been like, there's been no air into it. I've literally, I guess, been in the cocoon, right? I'm just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? How am I going to fix this? What's going to happen? And I've been brainstorming ways to have a side gig, right? A side hustle, which is fine, and just give myself a little breathing room to like make some money and like add a little light in the air and like take the pressure off a little bit of like making this business work so that I can actually make this business work and not be freaking out about it all the time, right? So then I've been in this brainstorming of like, what could a side hustle be? What would that make sense, right? So I have 2 little boys. Scheduling is really a thing, just getting a job really like can be complicated for schedules and hours and like all the reasons, right? So that hasn't been flowing either. And I'm like, what the F? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, like, okay. And so, backstory, for my whole life, really, I've always wanted to make and sell something. And I mentioned making these wall hangings I think on another vlog before. And so but I didn't know, this is the thing, and this is what I want to bring up for the ADHD piece, is that it's one of those things where the way ADHD and attention stuff has come through in my life, which is different than others, is that it hasn't derailed me. I haven't just gone off and done these wild things and been impulsive and made crazy decisions like happens with some people with this stuff going on. Instead, I have lived in this super controlled, hypervigilant, ever-present criticism of myself to make sure and to check in that I'm doing things that I'm supposed to be doing, right? And if I start veering off course, I'm like, no, back on track, back on track, back on track. And it's just this like really harsh and intense internal criticism of like, and evaluation of like, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Am I doing it right? Like, am I, you know, where I need to be? Am I focusing on the right thing? You know, blah, blah, blah. All from, mostly from what I think other people would think I should be doing, right? And so in this state right now, you know, it's like figuring out the business and all this stuff. It's like, okay, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing, you know, I've been learning these pieces, which are all valid. And I just wasn't listening to my intuition, right? And so my intuition was like really wanting to make something tangible. So I talked about it before, but I started making these circle things. I started getting creative again, and then, but I was feeling conflicted, right? Of like, is this just a byproduct of it being literally a new shiny thing that is exciting and I can focus on now because there's energy to it and it's new and novel and, you know, and the other stuff got hard, so now I just want to focus on something new and exciting and pretty. And I was really beating myself up about it, being like, I don't know, you need to focus on the coaching stuff. And so thankfully, I have an amazing tribe of professionals that I reach out to. And I was talking to my counselor, and she was like, you know, maybe it's the type of thing where I was focused, when you are trying to remember someone's name and you're like, what is their name? What is their name? And you're focusing so hard on their name and like, you're just laser beamed and it's not going to come in that moment until you're like, oh, it'll come to me. And you back away and like start doing something else. And then boom, it hits you. And so this whole being creative circle thing is that it's like giving my brain a break from this one laser beam focus of trying to like do this thing and just exhaling and like, you know, being creative and doodling for a minute so that I can like refocus and like use my brain in a different way and get some light in there and air so that I can breathe again and like actually think through what I really want to do with the business and all the coaching stuff. So that's why I put it out to you. Like if you are, you know, a firework thinker like I am, and you keep yourself really like, okay, in line of like what I'm supposed to be doing, and you get other brainstorms, it can be hard to tell if it is something that, you know, is an intuition and something that's a calling that you know, that you should do, or is it just something that's a distraction? And I think giving ourselves permission that like, it's okay to be working on multiple things at once. And by switching those gears and using those different energies and being able to like give ourselves permission to follow down a rabbit hole once in a while, is okay. And that's how we're wired. And there's nothing wrong with us for wanting to do that or for needing to do that, you know, and we can still balance and like be responsible and do all these other things too, right? So it's like you can check in about it. And if it's something that is truly derailing your life and you can't take care of your like real life responsibilities, then find someone to talk to, right? Like get help, right? Because that's a hard space to be in. But if it's something where, you know, having creative outlet or following a different rabbit hole gives you a break so that you can actually then realign and get back on track with the other things that maybe aren't as exciting to do in your day, I think that's a really important thing. And it's important to give ourselves permission that it's okay to do that. And so that's my kind of rambly-ish vlog entry today. I don't know. I'm really trying to embrace the goo and and see it for what it is, and allow myself to get some air in there every so often so that I can think straight and listen to my intuition and be okay that like it's awesome that, you know, creating pretty things and having something meditative and like, you know, this outlet is so awesome and I'm so grateful for it. And it's been fun to see the response. So that's my story. Yeah, if you want to check it out, I started an Etsy shop called Liz Rumbaugh Creations. So check that out if you like, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And, you know, let me know what your shiny thing is that you are focusing on so that you can like then get back on the horse and do all the other stuff in your day, right? Like, I think it's so important. It's so important for everybody, in particular for our types of brains who just like need a safe place to just go and be exactly who we are and not be realigning ourselves and constantly redirecting ourselves and being like, nope, back on track, back on track, back on track. Like, we have to be able to like have a safe place to just let our brains do what they do, and then beautiful things will come out in the world and it'll benefit everyone. So hope that's helpful. And let me know your thoughts, you know, share, like, do your thing. Check out my website. I did some updates. I'd love to know what you think about it. And check out the Etsy shop if you want. Liz Rumbaugh Creations at Etsy. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.